the first time I felt like deep failure. Even my parents were like, going to get married and have kids anyway, so you might as well, drop out of college. This is the perfect time to talk about this because I just left this company, Sugarbreak, that I've been working on for 3 years, and it was very much part of my person. During COVID, it was like my lockdown baby. So when there's like nothing else to distract you in the world, that was like literally my life.
Co-founding group, the employees, where are we size-wise?
With employees, I have 3 other co-founders.
Wow. That's a lot of co-founders.
That's a lot of co-founders.
Is it challenging? I mean, I feel like I started this company Air with, one of my best friends, and I felt like I got really lucky in that everything that we go through and struggle with is always put in perspective, given that there's like a relationship to fall back on. How did you know these people you were working with?
I got introduced to 2 of my initial co-founders who had gone fundraising, but didn't have someone to really run the company. So an ex-colleague of mine called me. She's like, I met these guys. There's this product for people to manage their blood sugar. She's like, I'm not sure about it, but if anyone can figure this out, she's like, I think it's you. She's like, can you just please humor me and meet them?
Yeah.
And I just thought, this is amazing. It can help so many people. I had another startup at the time. I was like, I'm just gonna help you guys put together your deck for fun. And so that's how I got to know them. Our 4th co-founder, he was always an entrepreneur, really admired. So when he got brought in and was like, do you want to be the CEO? I'll be your co-founder. I was just like, an opportunity to learn from someone like him would be amazing. So it felt serendipitous that this all came together.
There's so much passion, and it feels like it's very personal.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine the decision and analysis to be able to decide to leave and to go on to the next thing. What was a part of the calculus there?
Yeah, I think I really love growing companies and sort of at this point where it's like, it's a bit of a steady state. It's like maintaining the business. And like you said, I have 3 other co-founders. So, it came to a decision like, does it make more sense for me to continue to stay, or should I spend my time and work on something new where I think I could add more value to?
I'm sort of like terrified for the day where I'm not a founder anymore for a period, because I just don't know what I would do with myself. Like, how has the mindset shift been as you now
I thought that, even though everyone was sort of unanimous that I made the right decision, it was really hard. I thought I'd be like, okay, I'll get over this and I can start clearing my head and thinking about what I want to do next very quickly. It was not that at all. It's still taking some time for me to sort of process, like, who am I? Like, when I meet people, they're like, what are you working on? It's so attached to who I am that it's like really, really hard. I'm like, am I even a founder anymore? Because I'm not actively in the business. I'm like, is this still me?
What was the worst moment on the job, or worst day at the business?
I think maybe it's the day that I realized that I had to let go.
Wow.
Yeah.
And was it like, you were thinking about it? I feel like
I think it was like processing in the background for a really long time. And honestly, sometimes like people would just like unsolicited tell me that there are like so many other great companies you should go out and start. Yeah. I was just like, no, fighting it for a really long time. And then all of a sudden I was like, you know what, they're right. And that was a really, really tough day.
What do you think it is about this struggle to build something that has made it addictive for you? Like, where in the youth, childhood, family, like what are the influences that drew you into this?
Like, you're growing up in like an Asian family, like you have to be best at everything and failure is not an option. And then there's also that other expectation to get married and have kids and be a good wife.
It's insane.
And I think
they
I'm
want
just
both.
like, so I think
it's like work really hard at school, do all these things, but then also I need you to get married and like do it. It's insane.
So I think more interesting is that as a woman, they care more about the getting married and having kids than the other part. Like excelling in school was to prove that I would be genetically great to like have these children for my future husband. And I think that's like the struggle that I have with when I talk to my family when they're like, you're too educated now. You're too successful. Yeah, you're too educated.
Oh
you're too successful. Like, tone it down a bit. Like, how are you gonna find a husband?
Has that pressure come from forces outside of the family as well?
Definitely, like all of my family, friends, relatives all feel the same way. And then obviously as a female founder, there's tons of research that shows how little ventured money goes into female founders. Less than 2% if you're a color, less than 1%.
Yeah.
Much tougher diligence, like really scrutinizing the numbers. A lot of like what the downside risks are versus what your vision is and how big you can grow the company. Having male co-founders in the room, many instances, even though I'm the CEO, the questions are
Have you felt
to
that
them.
people like direct the question?
Yeah.
Really? No way.
Yeah.
How have those lessons that you've learned over these 3.5 years, how have they started to push you towards what it is you want to learn next?
I think it has taught me to be kinder to myself. Being an entrepreneur is really tough, and part of being kinder is not judging failure the same way that I used to. It's given these additional tools and experience that I can use to do the next thing.
Thank you.
This is really fun.
Yeah, this is like,